Nearly 13 years in prison, over 20 years as an attorney. Needless to say, I learned a few things. NTB, man. Mastering two worlds is hard. Few people can do it. Many have tried, many have failed. Let's talk about it. I met a guy once upon a time who was a legend in the streets, and he was training me on the boxing game. We started, talking after the sessions, and he had told me what he perceived of me. He was going to give me my read. And he read me as a person who can make it in either world. I can do that street thing or in prison. I've heard this a couple of times from inmates and non-inmates, workers within the prisons that I was at. They picked up that, hey guys, you can make it in the real world, so to speak, or you can go into the underworld. Mastering two worlds, though, is hard. And that's because one heart can't serve two masters. You have to be all in. Whichever world you go into, you have to be all in. You got to commit 100%. They had situations in sports, for instance, where you had young men who were talented and gifted in two sports: football or basketball, track and field or football. Historically, you only had a few people who actually pulled that off to any significant success. Bo Jackson, for those who remember, played two sports, baseball and football. He was good at both. Deion Sanders played two sports, but rarely do people commit at a high level to two sports because the sheer commitment that it takes to be successful in any one or the other is tremendous. It's the same thing for the streets. I meet a lot of guys doing youth services work for many, many years who had that potential. They can go either left or they can go right. Many times some of them would try to walk the line. They dipping in and out of both worlds. I meet some, they'll be taking college courses during the day, and at night they're on the block. That's a recipe for disaster. Again, very few people can master both worlds because you're not committing full time to either. Sooner or later, you're going to have to make a choice. And whatever choice you make, you're going to have to live with it. There's a sure guarantee, almost 99%, trying to do both is going to lead to disaster. There's also a high probability that trying to make it in the underworld is going to lead to the disaster. That's long term, that is. If you have the ability to make it in the quote-unquote real world, corporate world, consider it. It's a longer ride. Oftentimes, it's a smoother ride. It's not as dramatic. It's not as titillating and exciting. It's not going to be police chases and gun battles in the streets, but it may be a long life and a lot of opportunities to contribute to the world rather than living fast and dying young. NTB, man. Follow for more.